Now, as a copywriter, as a marketer, as a salesperson, there's one thing that matters to us more. There's one thing, not one addiction that every human being has, which I call the good addiction. I call it the good addiction because what? It is not so bad, and without that addiction, a salesperson can actually not make way. Without that addiction, it will actually be hard to sell anything. So I call it the good addiction. So what exactly is that addiction? The addiction is that people love to spend. Forget the justification of even the most prudent person. Forget the justification of, okay, I'm trying to plan prudently, blah blah blah, and all stuff. People love to spend. What do I mean? Now let's take this for instance. Now let's say you're making 30,000 naira now, or let's say you're making 50,000 naira now. Now, you'd agree with me that your 50,000 naira, somehow you try to squeeze your means, you squeeze your expenses just within that your means. That is your 50,000 naira. Your expense cannot go beyond 50,000 naira. Now, now say in a couple of months, like a month's time, you find a job that begins to pay you, let's say 500,000 naira. That is literally times 10 of how much you were earning previously. So 500,000 naira. Are you telling me that out of that 500,000 naira, it's only 50,000 naira you spend? No, definitely not. Because what? Once you begin to earn more, once your earning ability increases, it automatically increases your spending ability. So the moment you earn more, you spend more. The moment you earn more, you begin to spend more because what? You feel like you can actually afford a lot of things. Now, the things that initially when you were earning 50,000 are the things that looked like a luxury to you then. Now that you're earning 500,000 naira becomes a necessity to you, becomes a necessity. Now that you're earning 500,000 naira, or let's say a million self, you want to feel like, okay, I need a car. It does not. It's no longer you no longer call it a want. Now you call it a need. So you call it a need. You say you need a car at least to fit the style and all of that and all stuff. Something that while you were earning 50,000 naira, it was a luxury to you then. But now that you're earning 500,000, a million, it becomes a necessity. You are also say, okay, I need a house. I need a better house. Okay, I can't be living in the face me and face you anymore. I need to move to like a flat or maybe like a mansion or something. So basically, your spending ability begins to rise proportionately to your earning ability. So people love to spend, they continually spending until they don't have to spend anymore. So which I call it the good addiction, because what, if people don't love to spend, you can't get money out of them. So basically, we capitalize on the fact that people love to spend, and since we have something that they can spend the money on, that is why we are actually and any business, that is why any business would actually survive, because of people will love to spend. People will never stop spending. Let's move on. Next up, we want to talk about the one belief. Now, every copy that you write is dependent on just one belief, just one thing alone. And if your copy fails to achieve that, the entire copy has failed. If your copy does not achieve that, the entire copy has failed. So what exactly is that one belief? What exactly is that thing that your copy needs to achieve? Your copy needs to make your prospect want to believe that the solution to her problem is only attainable through your product. You want to make her believe that the solution to her problem, because you know that your copy is an advert to a solution, that is to your product, the solution to your prospect's problem. So they need to believe that your product is the solution to their problem. You need to say sufficiently enough for them to know that your product is a solution to their problem. If you do not achieve that with your copy, then that copy has failed. Next, so what is your job? Your job is simply, as a copywriter, your job is simply to make her believe. Make her believe. Make her believe. Toy with her mind. Explain all the things you need to explain. Appeal to logic. Appeal to emotion. Everything that you need to do just to make sure that your prospect believes that you are the best solution, the best option that she has. Basically, that is your simple, overwhelming one priority of your copy. So now, how do we write a copy that makes your prospect believe? Join me, let's move on to the next video as we discuss that. Alright, so the essence of your copy in a whole now. This right now we're about to move on to the research part, but I need to say this thing. It is very, very important so that it will be on your mind while we do our research. Now, your copy as a whole needs to take note of one thing. Everything that your copy will say, and whatever it is that your copy will be saying, must be wrapped around one big idea. I repeat, your copy should be wrapped around one big idea. What is the central idea that your copy will be wrapped around? What exactly is the major thing that your copy will be saying? Aside the fact that your product is amazing, it is awesome, and all of that is even least important. What is the major thing that your copy will be premising upon to actually bring a proper delivery of its message? Now, one thing, we said every copy should always be wrapped around a central idea, not two, not three, just one. Because what? Then it is that central. If you're writing your copy premising on more than one idea or more than one thing in your mind, your message will be so dissipated in such a way that it will not be keying in on one particular thing, and it will seem like you're saying too much in just one copy, right? So how do you know what your copy should be talking about? How do you know your central idea? Your central idea, you know your central idea, what should be your central idea by finding out what exactly matters the most to your audience. What matters to your audience the most? Now, for every product, it is not exactly the product that really matters to people, right? It is a particular idea about your product that matters to people. It is one particular thing about your product that matters to people. It's mostly an emotion rather than the product. It is mostly an emotion rather than a product. Take for example, let me use a health product for example. Now let's say don't let me use health product. I've been consistently using it. Let me use something else like a real estate. Now let's say a real estate in Lekki. Now, okay, using that real estate for example now what might matter to people that are actually getting your, sorry about that, there was a disturbance in the background. So what might matter to people getting that particular product, it might actually be the luxury, or let's say maybe not the luxury that Lekki will bring now. Let's say maybe the kind of connections, right, that them being in Lekki, or them getting an apartment in Lekki, or them having a house in Lekki, the kind of connection that would bring. Now, there are certain things that really, now not the same thing drive everybody. Now, for some people, getting a real estate in Lekki might basically be for the La Vida local, so that okay, I want to be seen as somebody that has money. Whereas for some others, it might be mostly because of the connection that might come through that. For some others, it might be as a form of necessity because of their job placement. Now, so if somebody is moving to Lekki because mostly being enforced by his job, or the maybe he was just moved to his job was around that place. Now you can't basically be trying to entice the person with the La Vida local lifestyle that Lekki brings. He does not, maybe he might care a bit about it, but he does not really care about that because that is not his major driver for going to Lekki, right? So, which is why a research is important, the market is research is important, so that you can find out the most important emotion, the most important feeling, the most important drive of that the most important drive that will make your customer or your prospect buy, so that when you discover that drive, you can press in very deeply on that drive and actually bring, at the end of the day, actually able to make them take a beneficial action. All right, so you need to find out what is driving them. You don't want to assume, right? You need to know, don't assume. So how do you know that? You know that from your research, which is part of what we'll be doing now for us to find out the major driver of people's actions when they want to buy from us, major drivers. And we'll find out more other things in our research. That when we do our market research, we'll find out a lot of things that would actually give us exposition and give us leverage, a better vantage, would make us pitch to our client from a better vantage point, from a point of knowledge, where we are not just saying things from our mind, we are saying things accurately, knowing that those are the things that they need at that point in time, and those are the things that will drive them to take a decision on taking us up on our offer. Let's go.